You're lying in bed, the lights are off, and your brain will not stop talking. It replays the thing you said at work. It reminds you of tomorrow's list. It asks, did I send that email? You're tired, but your mind is wide awake. I used to live like this every single night. And then I found something very simple that helped. A pen, a piece of paper, and 5 minutes. Welcome back to the Overthinking Cure. This is episode 2. In the last episode, we talked about why your brain gets stuck in loops. We called it rumination. That means thinking the same worry thoughts again and again without finding a solution. Today, I want to share the first real tool that helped me break those loops. The evenings were the hardest part of the day. The morning was busy, work kept my mind focused, but the moment I sat down at night, everything came rushing in. The conversation I had with a customer, the thing I forgot to do, the money I needed to figure out, whether I was doing enough, whether I was enough. And if you have ever built a life in a new place or in a new language, you know this feeling. The list is longer, the weight is heavier, because you carry things that other people don't see. I tried many things. I tried meditation apps, I tried breathing exercises. They helped a little, but my brain still wanted to talk. It had things to say. One night I was so frustrated. I grabbed a notebook and I just wrote. Everything, every worry, every thought, no order, no grammar, just words on a page. 5 minutes later, I stopped. I looked at the page and I felt lighter, like I had put a heavy bag down. That was the first night I fell asleep without fighting my own mind. I didn't know it then, but what I did that night has a name in psychology. It's called the brain dump. It means writing down everything in your mind, fast, without editing, without judging. It's connected to something therapists call cognitive offloading. That means moving information from your mind and to somewhere outside, like paper, so your brain can stop holding on to it. Think of it this way. Your brain is like a table, and every worry is an object sitting on that table. When the table is full, you cannot think clearly. You cannot rest. Writing is how you take things off the table. And the research supports this. Dr. James Benevaker at the University of Texas studied this for over 30 years. He found that writing about your thoughts and feelings for just 15 minutes reduced anxiety. It lowered blood pressure. People even visited the doctor less often in the month after. Another study by Klein and Bowles found something surprising. Writing about the stressful thoughts actually improved working memory. That's the part of your brain that holds information while you think. When you write the worry down, your brain lets go of it. And that creates a space to think, space to rest. And here's something I love. A study from Baylor University found that people who wrote a to-do list for 5 minutes before bed fell asleep 9 minutes faster than people who wrote about things they already did. 9 minutes may not sound like much, but if you have ever spent an hour staring at the ceiling, 9 minutes feels like a gift. So let me share what actually works. I have 3 tools for you today. You don't need to use all 3. Try one, see how it feels. This is the simplest one and it's where I started. What it is, every evening you sit down with a pen and a paper. You set a timer for 5 minutes and you write down everything in your mind. Everything, the big things, the small things, the silly things. There are no rules about what to write. No prompts, no structure, just let your mind empty onto the page. Why it works? Your brain is very good at reminding you of unfinished things. Psychologists call this the Zeigarnik effect. It means your mind holds on to tasks and thoughts that feel incomplete. When you write them down, you're telling your brain, I heard you. It is on the list, you can rest now. How to try it? Pick a time in the evening after dinner works well for many people. Grab any notebook, set your timer. Write without stopping. Don't read it back. When the timer ends, close the notebook. What it might feel like. The first time it might feel strange. You might think this is not doing anything. This is normal. By day 3 or 4, most people notice something. The thoughts feel less heavy. The evenings feel more calm.
And one more thing, I recommend writing by hand if you can. Research shows that handwriting activates more areas of the brain than typing. It connects the parts that process emotions. The slow movement of your hand helps your brain slow down too.
These ones come from therapy. It's used in CBT, which stands for cognitive behavioral therapy. That's a type of therapy that helps you change unhelpful thinking patterns. What it is, you choose a specific time each day to worry, maybe 6 p.m., maybe 7 p.m. For 10 to 15 minutes, you sit down, you write your worries. You think about them on purpose. And here's the important part. During the rest of the day, when a worry comes up, you notice it. And you say to yourself, I will think about that at 7 p.m.
Why it works? A study from Penn State found that people who used this method had less anxiety than people who worried throughout the day. Most people felt better within 2 weeks. It works because it gives your worries a home. They're not ignored, they're not pushed away, they're just scheduled.
And something interesting happens. When 7 p.m. comes, many of those worries feel smaller. Some of them don't feel important at all anymore. How to try it? Pick a time that's at least 2 hours before bed. Set a timer for 10 to 15 minutes. Write each worry down. If you think of a small next step, write that too. When the timer ends, close the notebook. What it might feel like. At first, it might feel impossible to wait. A worry comes up and your brain wants to solve it right now. That's okay. Just practice noticing. There's a worry, I will come back to it later. It gets easier. This is my personal favorite. It's a combination of the brain dump and something more gentle. What it is, before bed you take one page. You draw a line down the middle. On the left side you write what is still on my mind. On the right side you write what went well today.
The left side is your brain dump. Let it all out. The right side is your anchor. It doesn't have to be big. I made a good cup of coffee. I finished one task. I called my mom. Why it works? The left column does the cognitive offloading we talked about. It moves the worries off your mental table. The right column does something different. Research on gratitude journaling shows that noticing small positive moments before bed can shift your mental state. It doesn't erase the worries, but it gives your brain something else to hold as you fall asleep.
How to try it? Keep a notebook by your bed. Spend 2 to 3 minutes on each side. Start with the left, get the worries out first, then move to the right, and on that side.
What it might feel like. This one often surprises people. The left side feels like relief, the right side feels like warmth. Together they create a kind of closure for the day.
I want to say something before we close. These tools are simple, but simple doesn't mean easy. It doesn't mean they will work perfectly the first night. What I have learned is this. My brain was never my enemy. It wasn't trying to make my evenings difficult. It was trying to help. It was saying, please don't forget this matters.
The brain dump isn't about silencing your mind. It's about listening to it, giving it a safe place to put things down, and then telling it gently, I heard you, we can rest now.
If this is your first time hearing about brain dumps, maybe try it tonight. Just 5 minutes, just a piece of paper. See what happens. And if you missed episode 1 where we talked about what overthinking actually is and why your brain does it, I will link it up here. In the next episode, episode 3, we are going to talk about something most people don't expect. Why your body overthinks too. how tension, breathing, and movement are connected to those racing thoughts. I think you will find it really interesting. Thank you for being here. I'm glad we are doing this together.